Entertainment companies, including Netflix, have been unloading completed projects as Hollywood continues to navigate some very troublesome economic headwinds. In fact, some people are calling it a recession. And as Hollywood continues to navigate these waters, it looks like the Hollywood Reporter, who we are actually referencing in this story here, is calling this out as a dangerous trend. Is it? Let's take a look. Here we go. Now, as Hollywood continues to navigate the current recession, entertainment companies have been, they've been unloading completed projects in an effort to recoup or minimize the financial losses or financial impacts of a complete flop. Now, this trend has been seen across the industry, and other industries as well, but more specifically from streamers such as AMC Plus and Paramount Plus and Disney, of course, and HBO Max. Now, based on Hollywood Reporter article that we're citing here, Netflix will no longer be distributing two completed films, The Inheritance and Housewife. And the added twist here is that they are allowing the filmmakers to actively shop those projects elsewhere for distribution. Now, I can't imagine that it's going to be that hard to put both of these films in the same place, because housewives are always looking for an inheritance.
Bruh.
Terrible joke, I know, but it had to be said. In the summer of 2022, of course, HBO Max made an announcement that the DC feature film Batgirl and the animated movie Scoob, The Holiday Haunt, they were being shelved outright, and both of them had already completed production, at least for the most part. Batgirl, not quite as much. And based on everyone's reception to Velma, to be sure, I think we're likely saved from incredible suffering when it comes to the film Scoob. But again, I really don't have a lot of insight. And at the time that all of this was being reported, just a few months ago, they were just essentially, these two projects were just casualties of a new corporate strategy from their parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery. They were trying to take some tax write-downs on the films and basically write off their budgets. At the moment, it's unclear exactly why Netflix decided to unload both of these completed feature films. You have The Inheritance and Housewife. They seem to be a notable difference from the way HBO Max handled their titles. They're at least allowing them to be shopped elsewhere. More recently, even, a feature film based on the Comedy Central series Workaholics, which I've never seen, don't know anything about, nor would I care. Apparently, that was scrapped by Paramount Plus about 5 weeks before filming was slated to begin. So that's cutting it quite close. And actually, we've seen a few of those over the last 6 months. Now, like the Netflix features, this project is now being shopped elsewhere. So if somebody wants to make Workaholics, I guess, go talk to somebody over there at Paramount. And on the television front, of course, we've had multiple shows that have been canceled while in various stages of production. In fact, you've seen shows be renewed and then unrenewed. We've seen a lot of that. 2 in one day, as a matter of fact, if memory serves. AMC Networks, which has been unsure about their financial footing, they've been doing a lot of write-downs recently to the tune of about $400 million. And they basically are pulling back orders for series like Damascus, 61st Street, and Invitation to a Bonfire, all of which had either been completed or were partially through their production. Now, at the beginning of the pandemic, studios like Paramount and Sony began offloading completed films to recoup the minimal financial losses that we talked about before, or just to, get some money out of something that maybe wasn't going to perform well because of people's fear of going to the theaters. So they sold off their inventory to Netflix or Amazon or Apple TV. So now that we're 3 years past that, and we've seen a huge pivot to streaming, efforts by entertainment companies and others now being exacerbated because of inflation, a recession, and a constant chase for subscribers. Netflix's decision here to offload the two titles arrives at a time when the streaming service itself is trying to maintain the same level of content spend. They're spending around $17 billion, so I would expect that number to be fairly consistent in the future. They are focusing on profits from the current 230 million plus subscribers globally. And of course, a shift in leadership there, although a slight one, could lead them to make some more moves to make the company more profitable, including, obviously, eliminating sharing of passwords. If they're right when it comes to that, and there's 100 million people watching that shouldn't be, maybe some of those will sign up for their ad tier and generate some revenue. Got another video on that coming out today, or maybe it's already released, I don't know. But both Inheritance, obviously, and House/Wife sound intriguing enough to find distribution somewhere else. You have a lot of streamers and studios that are desperate for projects to air or release theatrically. And from some of the descriptions here, it's quite possible that both of those could make their way into a theater, believe it or not. At least one thing here is very clear. The next few years will be full of somebody else's projects, or in this case, somebody else's rejects. But hey, what do you think? Are we in for an extended drought of quality content? Will retreads, also known as remakes, be the bottomless pit that streamers continue to fall into? Or will the pivot to quality be the norm as the money and the economy dry up? I think with Netflix and a few other studios, I think that's the direction they're going to go. And they're going to hold the line with their content spend. But that's my opinion. Please feel free to contribute to my success here on YouTube by commenting down below with your answers. And as always, I thank you for that. Oh, and if this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button down below. Of course, hit like, as everybody asks you to do, and turn on notifications up there so that you don't miss a live stream, a long form video, or even a short, because I do those too. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye. And don't forget to check out my Rumble at rumble.com/CultureCasino.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.